Welcome to the Pacific Soil Portal. Let's find out about some soils. Let's go to Tonga and see what we can find out about some soils there. So we click on the Tonga button and this takes us to the Tongan Soil Portal. We can here click on the Maps button to have a look at the Maps interface. In the Maps interface, we're presented with a view of the whole of the Tongan group. Let's say we want to try and find out something about Ha'apai, perhaps on the island of Lafuka, so we can click up in the top left here in the search button and type in Lafuka. We can choose here from amongst the search results. Let's just go for Lafuka Ha'apai Island. And we're zoomed into the Ha'apai island of Lafuka. We can back out a little bit if we want to see the whole island. We can use the forward and backwards buttons to move around with that zoom. We can even zoom right back to our original zoom of the whole group, or back to our zoomed in view. We have the ability here to select a particular area that we're interested in. If we want to pan as opposed to zoom, we can click here and now click and hold and drag, and we can move around in our particular island to find out what we want. Okay, let's say that we now want to have a look and pick a particular site. We can use the transparency slider to slide back a wee bit to see the underlying map better. And let's say we want to pick somewhere quite close to this soil profile point here, so we'll zoom down here. And now all we need to do to find out about the soil is drop a pin or click on the map at the location we're interested in. This opens up this little box on the side, and we can see here that we're in a Lafuka soil with a little bit of information. Very good soils these, with very slight limitations. We can see a more detailed soil report just by clicking on this button here over on the right, and it opens up a soil description for us that shows us the polygon we've clicked on at the soil area and gives us a number of basic details about that soil, the slopes it occurs on, brief profile description, information about the soil depth, about its soil fertility and drainage. Anything that's important will be shown here. If it's empty, it means there's nothing too important about that particular property. We can also look in the crop suitability, and that will show us that for this particular soil type, again an elite soil, that all of the crops that we've been evaluating it against, it's highly suited to growing, and none of them are poorly suited. We're able to share a link up here to that report, or we can print that report out as a PDF file. We also have access to information about any soil profiles that have been recorded in the soil. In this case, there's only one, this one here. We can just click on this orange button here, and that will bring up the soil report showing us that when the soil profile is collected, and we can click on this button to see a detailed soil profile, which will give us an impression of the colours of the soil that we might see in the profile, and a great deal of very detailed information that might help us understand better about that soil, really targeted more at the soil scientist. We can see information from each of the profile horizons within that soil. So again, very detailed information. And we can click and see a related soil map unit, which again shows us something a bit more like that original information for the soil polygon. And again, we can share or print these reports. So that's a basic rundown of how to get a soil report from the Pacific Soil Portal.